computer. We are recording.
DJ Khaled. Yeah. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there. And they say yeah. And they say there.
Let me see y'all.
Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Ludacris going in on the verse, cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now.
We are
Keep your hands up, give 'em in
celebrating.
the sky for the homies that ain't making it, my folks locked down. I never went nowhere. What they saying, Luda's back. Blame it on that contour. The hood call it Luda yak. And I'm on this foolish track, so I spit my foolish flow. My hands go up and down, like strippers' booties go. My verses still be serving, tight like a million virgins. Last time on a college remix, now I'm on the original version.
I see some of the videos. So
You better count me in. Got 20 bank accounts. Accountants count me in. Make millions every year. I'm a South champion. Cause all I do, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I
See you,
can never
Benita.
get enough.
What's going
And every
on?
time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Gotta see your hands up. Come on, let's
And they
keep.
stay there. And they say yeah. And they stay there. Cause all
Georgia,
I
I
do
see
is
your hands up.
win, win,
Come on,
win.
come on.
And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Come on.
Swerving them.
Welcome everyone. What's going on? If you guys are on mute, you're gonna have to unmute yourself for this one because I need to hear y'all. It's celebrating. It's 11 years. How's everyone doing?
What's up?
What's going on? What's going on? Who we got? Who we got in the building? Miss Bonita. Hey,
How's
Steve
everybody
Guard.
doing?
Is that my wife? Is that Miss Bonnie Ross Parker there? Is that my wife? How you doing?
Yeah. Oh my
For those of you that don't know, that is my networking wife. Yes, her husband knows. Sometimes all three of us go out. That's just how we get down, okay? Barry Wheat, how are we doing? Welcome.
Excellent, excellent.
So good to see everyone today. Thank you for taking some time for our anniversary event today. I was really, really hoping that we were going to be doing this. Santa Rick, boy, look, how about we got Santa Rick on the line? How about that? Love that. Was really hoping that we could do something face to face. I mean, technically we could have, but I said, you know what? We have now been doing so many things virtually now, so we really wanted to celebrate and have as many a part of this as possible. So we said, why don't we just go ahead and do it virtually? So I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys being a part of this. Truly appreciate that. Today is going to be fun, okay? Today we're going to be on here for about, the event itself is going to go for about an hour and a half. You do not have to be here for the whole hour and a half. Just me seeing your faces right now, that is great. If you have something going on in your background, please go ahead and mute it. And today's going to be super informal, like literally what we're going to be doing. And actually, I'm about to show you guys what we're going to be doing today. Let's see here. Let's see if this comes up. We are going to be, I want to thank Miss Nina, because Nina has our graphics. Come on, this thing is acting crazy. Nina has our graphics on what I call Fleek. Y'all not be ready for that again no more. I'm still using that word. Yes, I am using that word. So love it. With that, these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about today. For some of you guys are new to ProNetworker, so we're going to be talking about really, who we are, kind of our beginnings. We're definitely going to get into our event concepts that we've done over these past 11 years. We're going to talk about today, what we're doing today. We're going to talk about our team. We're going to talk about, and then we got a little event that we're going to be doing called Meet My Network. We also are going to have some testimonials. We'd love to hear from you guys. And we're also going to actually do a networking session today. Okay, we're going to do one networking session. You can't come to a pro networker event, a celebration, and not have a networking session, right? So we gotta have a networking session. So with that, we are gonna be doing that today. But I really, before we get started, again, I am super excited to have each and every one of you guys here. Really excited about that. And while you guys are here, please utilize the chat, okay? Definitely make sure you utilize the chat. If this is your, I don't think this is anybody, well, this might be somebody's first time being here. Is anybody's first time being here? Let me ask that first. Is anybody's first time, like you don't know what a pro, other than Katie, that you don't know what a pro networker is, you just saw this on Eventbrite? Put it in the chat. I just want to see, put it in the chat if this is your first time. I think I saw Reba Jones. Is this your first time? Okay, so Reba Jones, unmute yourself real quick. And anybody else, if this is your first time coming to a pro networker event, please put that in the chat. I just want to see that. Reba, how did you find out about this event?
I started getting these emails unsolicited.
Okay.
Yeah, spam.
How about that? We'll take it. We'll take it. So this is your first time. What type of business do you have?
I don't have a business. That's why I don't know why I got these emails.
Okay. Are you in Atlanta?
Yes.
You've been to one of our events. What do you do?
I'm an administrative assistant.
With what company?
Equifax.
Okay. Somehow you got on our list. So if you got an email from us, somehow you got on our list. But here's the beauty about email, guys. It works. She's here. So for those of you that are not emailing people, don't know what you're doing, people. Don't know what you're doing. Well, Reba, listen, we truly hope that you enjoy yourself today. I know we are a networking company. We believe, and that gets us into what ProNetworker is. ProNetworker is a company that believes in building your business through networking. We have a tagline called, it takes a village to build your business. That's our belief. There are some people in business who believe, no, I just want to build my business through referrals. That's all. I don't want to do any networking. I don't want to do it. We are not for you. We are networking advocates. Okay. We are networking advocates. So we believe in people building their business through their network. So that's all that we have done for the last 11 years. And as you can see, things are actually going really, really well. So Reba, we truly appreciate you being here. Anybody else? Santa Rick, it's your first time. Santa Rick, how did you hear about the event? Unmute yourself. Man, we marketing all the way up to the North Pole. How about that?
That's exactly right. From the very tip down to the bottom. Yeah.
Where are you calling in from other than
the North Pole?
I set myself up for that one.
Yes, you did. Well, I'll tell you a Santa secret. Everybody else, put your fingers in your ears because this is a secret and you're not supposed to know this.
It just
so
between me
all
and
year long, you know, I check the naughty and nice list and I have to check it twice. And the way we do that is I have a house in every single city in the world so that I can come and watch y'all while you're awake, because of course, Christmas Eve, you're asleep and I can just zip around and deliver presents, but I have to see if you're really on the naughty or nice list. So I'm at my home in Atlanta, Georgia right now, the secret hideout, like the Bat Cave.
Okay, love that. It's your summer home.
Well, no, I'm busy checking the naughty and nice list here. Tomorrow I'll be off to Bulgaria to check those people.
How about that? And how'd you hear about this event?
Got an email, you know, the elves, the techno elves are very busy, you know, they suck this stuff up and spit it out and say, Santa, be here, be there.
Listen, you guys, I want to tell you, email list still works. So Santa, we truly appreciate you being here. For everybody else that is here, we truly appreciate you guys. Who believes that they are the longest knowing me and ProNetworker? Who believes they started at the very beginning? That's probably going to be Bonnie. Bonnie, I was going, and on here, we're going to talk about this. I was going through my list of when we actually started doing some things together. Bonnie, do you remember our first event together?
Well,
First of all, Corey, it's great to see you. And you can never catch up with Experience Connections, unfortunately,
This
but
is
I'll be
true.
celebrating you along the way. I'm the elder in the group. Anyway, I don't remember like the very first, I just remember the different places. We even did Pro Golf. I think it's called Golf Pro, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, we've done a lot of stuff over the years. And
we
for
have.
those that don't know, I am officially Corey's networking wife, and that has gotten a seal of approval by AKA Phil Parker. So any of you women that are listening now or to the recording, just know that that is signed, sealed, and delivered, and it is not negotiable. So Corey and I have a lot of history, and it was before this, I got on it too. And Phil says, you better get on there. Corey's expecting you. And I'm like, I'm on my way. So anyway, Corey helped us celebrate the 19th. And I hope as long as I'm alive, I will be celebrating you every single year, Corey. So
I appreciate that.
it's great to see you and your enthusiasm. The opening music was a little loud for me, and I wear hearing aids, so it was
Right.
really loud. But anyway, I'm happy to see you and the different people that are on with you. So congratulations.
Thank you, Bonnie. And Bonnie is the reason why I am still in networking. Bonnie is definitely the reason why I wear a name tag. So happy to have you a part, Bonnie. Again, for anybody who's just joining us now, if at any point in time you have to hop off, we completely understand. We truly appreciate you coming to the event. Again, truly excited about that. Right now, so again, we are a networking company. Our whole goal is to help people network. How we got started is, for those of you that don't know, I own an accounting firm. And I started my accounting firm back in 2004, 2005. And before then, I was in sales in corporate America and really didn't have to network. I was in inside sales. I did not have to network at all. Once I got out of that, I then started my tax business. An associate of mine said, hey, you really should get your business out there by networking. I was like, what is that? So she took me to my very first networking event. And I remember when I walked up to somebody, I told them what I did. They then said, oh, I need that, and gave me money. I was like, oh, this is great. Like, does other people know about this? This is awesome. So the whole concept of walking up to somebody who I didn't know, tell them what I do, and if they needed it, them actually doing business with me, that concept I loved, absolutely loved. So what I then had in my head was, I need to start going to more networking events. And what ended up happening is, every time I went to a networking event, I would get a client. Every time. Now, if there was an event that I go to where I wouldn't get a client, I'd get two at the next one. Now, obviously my product was different. I mean, I did taxes, everybody has to do their taxes, but the concept was the same. If you have a product that you do, a product or service, and people need it, then you got to get out there and let people know about what it is that you do. And this will come back around. So that's how I really started loving the whole concept of networking. I mean, again, and networking is one of those things to where I was on one of my masterminds and they talked about your marketing puzzle, where if you think about your business, marketing, there's multiple pieces of marketing. Networking is just one of the pieces in that marketing puzzle. And again, and it just so happens to be a very big piece. So for those people, not anybody who's on here, because all of you guys network, but for those people who are not networking, they're not getting the actual benefits from it, which is really wild. In my tax business, I got the ability to see my clients as their numbers were going up. I would ask them, what are you doing? And 99 times out of 100, if their numbers were going up, they were like, I'm out there, I'm networking, I'm letting people know what I do, I'm active. Then I also got to see clients' numbers going down. And I would ask them, hey, are you networking? And 99 times out of 100, they'd be like, no. And then they'd give me an excuse of why they're not networking. Sidebar, excuses are only stories you believe, okay? That's my thought on excuses. Only stories you believe. So regardless, and this is the one thing that I love about business, is business does not care how old you are, what your skin color is, what your gender is. Business does not care about any of that. Business says you need to learn and respect me. And if you learn and respect me, I will show you so many things and I will answer your dreams. But if you don't do that, you are going to pay, and you're going to pay dearly. You're going to pay with time and or money. Anybody have any experiences with that, right? So what happens is when it comes to networking, it's one of those things where I saw, wait a minute, networking for me, and again, I'm going to give you my experience, was a shortcut. Networking was a way to make business easier, not by just meeting clients. Clients is easy, but we talk about the 3 C's. I'm going to go ahead, and nobody on my team, I want somebody to unmute themselves and let me know what one of the 3 C's that we talk about. Nobody on my team. We talk about the 3 C's. Somebody unmute themselves and tell me what one of the C's are.
Collaborate.
Collaborators. Gotta find collaborators. Ruby, thank you for that. When you go to a networking event, you're looking for collaborators. Everybody's looking for a client. Great. Everybody, but we're also looking for collaborators. Can anybody give me the last C that we look for?
Competitor.
Competitor. That's what I'm talking about, Benita. Competitors. Everybody's looking for clients. Great. But what about finding these collaborators? Collaborators is what makes business easier. We're talking about tag teaming. We're talking about who likes potluck dinners. Potluck dinners are great, right? You bring your one dish, but everybody else brings something and you guys eat really well. Everybody likes carpooling, right? You get to share on guests, and that's what collaboration in business is all about. And then that other one is, again, those competitors. You don't have to raise your hand on this, but when I really started learning how impactful it is to do business with my competitors, I will say this: if you have been in business for longer than a month, and if you have not gotten any business from a competitor, meaning the competitor called you to give you money, you have not lived in business yet. You have not lived in business. Now, other than Santa, because I know that there's only typically one Santa out there, so you might not have a competitor. But everybody else, if you have other people that do what you do in your business, you need to start building these relationships with your competitors. Because again, and we're not going to get into that today, but these are the things that we've been preaching for the last 11 years. So to show you kind of where we got started, for my tax business, I was sending out an email because I had so much positive experience in networking. I had somebody call me one day and they said, hey, did you go to this networking event? I said, what networking event? They were like, oh man, you missed it. Man, there was shrimp and lobster and open bar and clients just falling out the sky. You missed it. And I was like, why didn't you tell me about it? So from that day forward, I said, you know what? Anybody that I come in contact with, I'm going to let them know about events. So what I started doing is that as soon as I found out about an event, I would send out an email to my list at the time. Hey, check this out. I just want you guys to know about this. Before you knew it, my list started growing. Anybody remember back in the day with Outlook, when you would send an email more to like 100 people, you had to put them in a group. And then when you did it in a group, depending on how large that group was, you'd have to hit the send button and kind of walk away because it would take several minutes for it to actually send out. Well, that was me. So as I started sending these emails out, people started really responding like, yo, thank you. Thank you for this information. Thank you for this information. It wasn't until we took those emails and then put them onto, we found out about Constant Contact, put it on Constant Contact. And then we started put them in a system, and now we can actually send out the emails a little easier. I had a lady one day reach out to me and say, hey, I love your emails, but what does your company do? And I said, oh, well, I do taxes. You know, she was like, you should put that in there. Bing. You know what, I probably should. So then I started putting, you know, we'd have a little blurb about taxes, but the rest was about events. Welcome to the slow drip campaign. I started doing a slow drip campaign and didn't even know it. We then started systematizing this email to where it went out once a week. I was sending out an email once a week, letting people know about different networking events that were happening all around Atlanta. And would people unsubscribe? A couple, but more often people would subscribe to it. I would go to events and people would literally walk up to me and say, I love your list, keep sending it to me. Or they would bring somebody and say, hey, you need to meet Corey, you need to get on his list. And I was like, wow, like people really are enjoying this. How about that? The list started growing, events started getting bigger. And the funny thing that happened during tax season, I would get people hit and reply saying, hey, do you still do tax? I get these events, but do you do taxes still? Yeah. My tax business blew up just because I was sending out these emails, 1 and 2, because I was going to networking events. So networking has been not just a small additive to my business, it has been everything to my business. And that is why I drink the Kool-Aid of networking. That is why I am fearless when I talk about networking. I remember my very first networking event I was doing, somebody, when I was creating a flyer and all that, somebody told me, oh, don't put the word networking on it. And I said, why? They said, oh, because networking has a negative connotation to it. And that really bothered me. Like that truly bothered me because I was like, wait a minute, why? And then and so what I did was I went to the dictionary to figure out what is the word networking. And for those of you that don't know, networking is the exchange of information between 2 or more people that have a common interest with each other. That's the definition of networking. Does anybody hear the word sales anywhere in there? So what that means is when you go to a networking event and you feel like someone is selling you, they're doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong. And here's the unfortunate part. Do you know how many people do not like networking and do not go to networking events because of the wrong people that are at the events? And now anytime that somebody doesn't go to an event, that they're now blocking certain opportunities to their business. So that's where I said, you know what? It is going to be my mission to make sure that anyone who I come in contact with, they understand what networking is and what networking isn't. Every event, and I am happy to say that over the 11 years, at every event that we do, we have education at that event. And at that event, we say very clearly that everybody is at the networking event. And what do we say that you're not there to look for? I want you guys to unmute yourself and tell me, what do we tell everybody that they're not there to look for?
Money.
Clients.
Clients.
Clients. We are not here looking for clients. We are not looking for clients. And that's what that changes. That should shift the mindset of a person to say, wait a minute, if I'm not looking for clients, why am I here? Because I'm looking to make money. Why am I here? We're looking for the other things. We're looking for collaborating. We're looking for competitors. We're looking for knowledge. We're looking for resources that can help my business, which is going to lead me to the money. And I am so proud about what ProNetworker has done over these 11 years and how we have stayed the same since the beginning. I ran into a lady a couple of years ago and was like, wow, you're still doing these events, right? Yeah. She was like, man, I've been married twice so far and you're still doing the same thing. I say, yep. Consistency is important. And again, and when you have a strong brand when it comes to that, and the words are right, that's where we are. So I say all that to say is, for those of you that, again, that are new to us or that have been here, I want you to know that we are here to continue doing what we're doing by making networking a really good word, making you feel good about networking. If you are an extrovert, like I am, great. But if you are an introvert, that there's ways for you to be able to get past those barriers to still network, because again, networking has done so much for my business. And my goal is to try to pour as much of that out on everybody else as possible. So again, I truly appreciate you guys being here. We're about to start getting through a look of these 11 years. Does anybody, and I just want to stop for a moment, does anybody have any comments that they want to make? Does anybody want to share anything before we get into a look back?
Yeah, I would. This is Tyrone calling.
Go ahead, Tyrone.
Yeah, just wanted to congratulate you on your 11 years. I've been in Atlanta now for 5 years, and you were one of the first individuals that I met, at a networking event. And through you, I had the opportunity to meet a lot of business professionals. Because when I was in North Carolina, I had a networking organization. So I understand the importance of building relationships.
Yeah.
Because not what you know, is who you know is important. But I just wanted to congratulate you for your longevity and for the impact that you're having in Atlanta.
Tyrone, I appreciate it. And I truly, truly appreciate you, again, being here, you coming up to me, networking with me, being a part of my network. Truly, truly appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Mark.
So Corey, have you ever thought about how many different locations you've held events at?
Yes, kind of. And actually, I was putting that together a little bit today, which I did not give myself enough time to do. But we have, and really, for those of you that I'm an accountant, so I really wanted to have some statistical data for you. Didn't give myself enough time to do that, but guess what? Next year, I'm gonna have that information. So come back August next year, I'm gonna have all that for you. But yes, I wanna have, actually, Mark, I wanna have all the locations that we've done, because we have done some crazy locations, which has been great. I wanna have the number of tickets that we've sold over these years. Mark, and I'm glad you said that. One of the things that I love about what we do is I care about two things mainly: the education of networking, and I care about the attendees' experience. I care about your experience when you come to our events, whether they are in person or virtual. And I want you guys to know, if you don't know this, that it costs us more money to do that. We sacrifice money to do that. We sacrifice time to do that. And I believe that it's an investment in there, because I truly believe that if you are a business owner and you have to network in it, whether you love networking or not, you should have a good experience doing it, right? You should have a really good experience. So one of those experiences, especially our in-person events, is the location of where we have the event. We actually care where you're networking. How about this? We care where you park. This is one of the things that we think about, your parking experience. I'm sure you've been to an event where you found out that they didn't care where you park. Because it's like, there's no parking spaces. Like, where am I supposed to park? We care about what you eat at the event. Like, we care about these things. We want to make sure that your experience, that you just not only are doing business, but you're doing business in, let's call it a social environment. Most time when you go to a social event, you have those experiences, but we wanted to take a social experience and put it in a business environment. So I will have that information at some point. So thank you for that, Mark. What I'm going to do is we're going to go through kind of like a little list of some of the things that we have done. And let me kind of explain to you guys the degree of difficulty of what ProNetworker has done. When you look at most event companies, they typically have one event concept, maybe two, and they do that for years, which is not a bad thing, not knocking that at all. For us, we didn't do it that way. I don't know if it was right or wrong. I do not advise anyone to do it the way we did it. Let me be clear about that. But I was actually writing down all the different event concepts that we have, and I got to, I stopped counting at about 25, okay? We have so many different things that we have done over the years, and as I was going through this, I was feeling really good about it. So I'm gonna share some of these things with you guys, if you don't mind. Let's see here. One of our very first events was called Talk and Taste. And if I don't know if you got, again, you can kind of chime in. And if you were at the event of any of these, put it in the chat. Hey, I was there. I remember that event. But we did an event called Talk and Taste. Those of you that really know me, my sweet tooth is out of control. If I have brownies in my house and they're here in the morning, guaranteed I'm having brownies for breakfast, guaranteed. So I try to keep them not in there. But we had an event called Talk and Taste. And my whole concept of this event was that all the exhibitors we're going to be food exhibitors. We're going to be actually even more, we're going to be bakers. So at this event, we had about, I don't know, about 5 or 6 different bakers that were at this event. So this was our very first event. We had it December in 2011. We had, now ProNetworker had started before then because I was sending out this email. And again, somebody had asked me what's the name of my company, which was my tax business at the time. But then somebody asked me, hey, well, what's the name of this email? And I was like, I don't know. And I called it InfoMail. So we called it InfoMail for the long time because there was info and there was email. And then I turned it into ProNetworker beginning in August of 2011. And one of our first events, again, was our Talk and Taste. And again, I really, and I don't know if you guys were in Atlanta during this time, but we were about to hit a pretty big freeze that night. But for us to have 300 and some attendees at this event was actually phenomenal for us. So, and what that let me know was, wow, like we had been letting people know about events for so long. I guess apparently people like really want to get out there and really enjoy what we're doing. So that's where we then ended up started having events ourselves. We then started doing an event called The Exchange. For those of you that have been in Atlanta, there was a lounge that opened up called Vanquish Lounge. This lounge was extremely, I was surprised that they actually allowed people in it, of how nice it was. We started doing this event for a while, which actually went really well. We were super excited about that. Does anybody know of a little show called the Shark Tank? Anybody heard of that event, that show? Well, in August of 2012, we actually did an event where we brought Damon John in town. This was one of my first major large events. So we did an event centered around him. Super excited about this event. In full transparency, I didn't have the best partners at the time. And let's just say that this was an event that it looked great on execution. Like the way it got executed, everything looked good. But on the back end, I lost my shirt on this event, okay? Lost my shirt, but what can you do? One of our next, so right after that event, we then started Strictly Business. And this was the event that really kind of put, I don't want to say us on the map, but this was really my baby. If you guys get the chance, if you go to YouTube and type in ProNetworker Strictly Business, you'll see some videos that we did. This event I absolutely love. This is one of my very favorite events that we've done. And the reason for that is, for those of you that have been in Atlanta for a while, and in Atlantic Station, there was a place called the Fox Sports Grill. Well, when they closed, we were actually able to have an event there, and it was an extremely large space. The space was mammoth. But we had the first event, we had 200 and some people there. And my goal was for this to be one of the largest monthly networking events in Atlanta. And we started with about 215 people, 225 was the first one. 225 was the first one. Was super excited about it. We had 20 to 30 exhibitors. We did speed networking at this event. If you love speed networking, put that in the chat. Speed networking was great. For those of you that don't know what speed networking is, it's just like speed dating, only more profitable. It was just awesome. This was a event. Now, for those of you that remember this event, you remember what happened to this event. And I am a true testament of being able to say to you guys, and I hope that you hear this, even if you put things together correctly, it doesn't mean that you are going to have success when you want to happen. Let me say it like that. For those of you that remember this event, we did this event in September. We had 225 people at the first one. We did it the next month in October, we had 250. So we were growing. Does anybody remember what happened in November? Well, if you don't remember, I'll tell you. It rained at the event. So with that, and if anybody is familiar with Atlanta, when it rains, people don't come out. So we ended up having, 150 people at the event, which was really good. So that's what happened in November. Now, what I'm going to do is, real quick, I am going to unmute this. So for anybody that knows these answers, I want you to just to go ahead and say it. So in November, we said it rained, right? Can anybody tell me what it did in December?
Rained. It
It
rained.
rained. It rained again in December. So I was like, okay, it's the second time. That's okay. We still had 150. We'll be okay. There's no way that it's going to rain in January. Can anybody tell me what it did in January?
It rained again.
It rained again in January. This is 3 times in a row. Now, I then said, no way it's going to happen again in the 4th month. Can anybody tell me what happened in February?
It rained.
It rained. Anybody see a
Came
concept?
down.
It rained again. Now, this is now the 4th event where it's rained. Now it's becoming funny, okay? It is really becoming very comical. Now, the next month is March. Can anybody tell me what happened in March?
It rained.
It rained again in March.
Oh.
And it literally 5 months in a row, it rained. It's now April. Can anybody tell me what happened in April?
Oh,
It
no.
rained.
Actually, it didn't rain. Here's where, I don't know, who you pray to, but here's where I think the higher powers has a sense of humor. It didn't rain in April, but there was something happening on that specific day when we did the event. There's this small organization called the NCAA, and they put on a game that's called the NCAA basketball championship game. And for those of you that are not fans like me of the NCAA basketball, you might not know, but I found out that year the NCAA basketball championship game travels around the nation every year for their championship game. Can you guys guess where it was that year?
In Atlanta.
Yes, it was in Atlanta. So I literally had 6 months of something that I could not control happening with this event, which my favorite event, couldn't control it. And what that told me was, again, even if we have things in place, we make it, we prepared and all that good stuff. Anybody who's listening to me, please understand this in your business. Even if you have the right formula, you still have to have what I call some run room, which is I have to be able to implement this thing, and it might not work the first time, but I have to do it again. I have to do it again. I have to do it again. Because it doesn't work doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that it might not be the right time. And I learned that with this event. I do not know, even to this day, I cannot tell you guys why the gods would not allow me to have this event, but that is what it is. So no, that's what it is. So yes, that's what happened to that event. What we then did the next year, we did the shark event again. We actually had Damon John, we had Kevin Harrington now from the show. We had Herman Russell, great event. I had different partners with this event. We had the way the event got executed, really good. This time, again, I had another partner. Let's just say this, I lost money on that deal, okay? Okay, I'm feeling candid to you guys. Damon John should be really happy about me because we actually, and this was back when before Damon got really big, right? We actually paid Damon John $10,000, and that wasn't all of his fee, and we couldn't raise the rest of it. So we actually paid Damon John $10,000 for a deposit, and he actually stayed home because we couldn't come up with the rest of the money. Now, so just for those of you guys that are looking to try to get into events and want to have celebrities and stuff, call me first if you want to do that. And I'll tell you some horror stories to that, okay? But then we came out with our app that year, which I was super excited. For those of you that had the app, we went from having emails, letting people know about different networking events. We then took those emails, we put them on a website. We then took that website and actually put it on the app. So we were super excited about having this app. Now, the app was great. For those of you that know about apps, they're great. But also those of you that know about them, they're very expensive. So we had some challenges when it came to the actual app itself, but it's okay, it happens. We then, if you saw the first flyer for Strictly Business, Nina, I don't want to hear any jokes. Nina's our new graphics person, but this is what we had before, but this is the iteration. Like this was a better, I like this flyer better, right? The other thing that we did with Strictly Business, which I was really happy about this, in November of 2013, we actually had 2 events going on simultaneously. We had one in like the Buckhead area, and we had one in the Alpharetta area. Both of them were happening simultaneously on the same day, the same time. Back then, our team was a little bit larger, but we were able to do that. So we were super, super excited about being able to do that. We then hit our first expo that we did, was super excited about this. So we had our expo in 2014. We literally put this expo together in about 60 days. And we had the first one, we had about 300 attendees and about 65 exhibitors. Super, super excited about that event. We then also came out with some the ProNetworker shop, which was just really wanted to educate people on networking. So that's where that came in. We then turned our the event that was in Alpharetta from Strictly Business to CardX, and had that event going. If you guys see in that picture and below on the left, that's Joel, which is technically one of my competitors, but we actually do business together. We'll talk about that in a moment. This was our second expo. This was the one where B&I partnered with us for this, or they were actually our title sponsor for this event. We did not have the 1,200 attendees, but we did have 600 attendees at this event. It was not a free event. Everybody paid at least $10 or $15, and we had 120 exhibitors at this event. At the time, we were in the top 3 as far as size is concerned, as far as expos are concerned. The only ones that were larger than us was the Cobb Chamber, which has been around for a while, and the Gwinnett Chamber. Other than that, we were number 3 when it came to that. So very, very excited. This was a lot of work. It was very costly, but it is something that we actually, were able to do. So very excited about that. One of the things, so with that, so here's also in business, you guys know that sometimes things don't happen the way that we planned them out, right? So with that, is that Katie May on the line? Hey, Katie May. You're on mute, Katie May. That's my mother, for those of you that don't know who Katie May is. She's the one that actually named me Network King. So with that, she knew that this is what I was going to be doing then. So good to see you, Katie May. But what I'm going to do now, and thank you to Nina for getting those slides for me. I was hoping to actually have all of them together by then, but that did not happen. So with that, I got to do it this way. So with that, I'm just going to go through some of the other event concepts that we had super quick, just so that you guys can actually see them. One of us is the Black Business Virtual Network. That is obviously once the pandemic hit, we had to come up something for our Black focused event. We also had the Black Business Forum that we did at the Center for Civil and Human Rights. This was a phenomenal event. We actually had about 300 and some people, which the Center for Civil and Human Rights was not expecting that number. So we were super, super excited about that. And those of you that were there, phenomenal event. This was our anniversary event that we did in 2019, before the pandemic. If anybody remembers that, before the pandemic, this is what the event that we did. We did it in Atlantic Station. We had 400 plus attendees to that event. Super excited about that. Nina, don't be mad at me, but this was the very first Circle of Firms flyer. I had to create something pretty big, pretty quickly. Yeah.
Great concept. Great concept.
Now, this is what it looked like afterwards, right? Now, listen, let me show you guys something. Again, we're going to be candid about this. This is where we started, okay? This was me. And then this is when I got somebody professional doing it, okay? So with that, again, guys, it's not about where you start. It's about where you end, okay? So just know that. Not about where you start, but where you end. This was actually an event that we did for the Hispanic community, for the Hispanic business owners. Did this for a couple concepts. We were super excited about that. I wanted to continue it, but the partners that I had, they had something going on in their business, and I don't speak Spanish, so I couldn't keep this event going. So, but it's gonna come back. Super excited about this event. This was our mega holiday event that we did back in 2018. This was the first event, and when we always talk about doing business with your competitors, this is the first event where Joel and I, with the big event, or Joel's List, we came together and actually did an event together. And for those of you that were at this event, it was an amazing event. And this is a true shine of how, again, they can be competitors, but you guys can collaborate with each other. And that's what we did. So we've actually done a couple events together even after that. Mark was talking about some of the places that we did events. We've done several events at the Fern Bank, which is super nice. I don't know if you guys have been there, but how about we like networking with dinosaurs, okay? We like networking with dinosaurs, so that's what we did there. Super happy about that. We did an event at the Cobb Energy Center. If you have not been to the Cobb Energy Center, it is super nice. We, for the Women in Networking, this is kind of when the Women in Networking concept almost kind of got started. We did an event where we celebrated my wife, Bonnie Ross, Felicia Phillips, Wendy Kenny with Power Core, April Concilio, and then Katrina Taylor, that was the DeKalb Chamber of Commerce president at the time. This was a really, really nice event. We, like I said, we really enjoyed doing that. For those of you that remember New to Atlanta, we actually partnered up with Ashonda Davis to help her with New to Atlanta. It was a great concept, and we really wanted to help her out with that event. So here's was another. This was actually one of our beginning ones of Strictly Business. If you see our logo back then, again, we've had several iterations of our logo as well. So just kind of keeping it. Then here's another iteration of this flyer. Like I said, we try to keep things fresh and all that good stuff. For those of you that know, we partnered with I Will Survive back in 2018, probably a little bit earlier than that, but we did an event with them, which is the cancer, which is the organization that helps women and men, but women who have been diagnosed with cancer, help them with the economic challenges that they have. So we adopted them back then. We've been doing events with them ever since. For those of you that know, I'm actually on the board of I Will Survive. So again, another concept that we did. This was actually the first event that we did with Taste Urban Atlanta. We wanted to take Black-owned caterers and bakers and bring them all together and do an event around them. So that was our very first one that we did with Taste Urban. Super excited about that. Pandemic hit. We then had to do some things online. So this was one of our online business events that we did with Urban Atlanta. Was happy about that. So those were a lot of the event concepts that we did over the ages, like over these past 11 years. We have quite a bit of things that we're doing now, which is one, the Networking Business Hop, which Mark Wise is a part of that. I don't know if Ken, yep, there's Ken. Ken was able to join. Ken, if you could unmute yourself real quick and let us know, how has Networking Business Hop been for you?
It's been great. I love getting together with you guys every 2 weeks or so, just about. It's every other week almost, but not twice a month.
Yep.
Yeah, twice a month, the first and third Tuesdays of the month. And it's been great. I've met a lot of wonderful people. It's been good for business and just truly enjoyed it.
Awesome. And Mark is one of our partners with that event as well. Mark, how's it been for you?
It's been wonderful, Corey. It's actually, I had lost track of Ken. You know, we had seen each other. He used to work up in Roswell. And then, our paths crossed, I think once at a Constant Contact event. Then hadn't seen him in years. So it's been wonderful getting back with him and talking to him, learning what he's been up to, but meeting a whole bunch of different people that I normally wouldn't meet.
Yeah.
Which has been the treat.
And that's good. And I'm going to introduce you guys later on, but I truly wanted to say I thank you guys for, supporting me with the Networking Business Hop. Obviously, for us, when it comes to networking, we believe in face-to-face networking. You can't get around face to face. But obviously we're in the pandemic, so we want to keep people safe. So with that, we started doing these virtual events. For those of you that know me, even though we've come out with an app, I am not technologically savvy at all. Let me be very clear. I am not technologically savvy at all, but we have been able to actually do some amazing things virtually. I know Steve Gard was on when we did our speed networking virtually. Now, don't ask me how we did it. It was a lot. Let me tell you that. We only did it twice, and I was like, yeah, we can't do that. But logistically, it was a nightmare. But it was, we were trying to come up with these concepts just to really keep that engagement. And one of the things that I'm very proud of is that I constantly hear from people that our events, our virtual events, are almost just as engaging as our in-person events. That a lot of people that come to these events, they are like, wow, I was on here and I forgot that I was on Zoom. Like, I really appreciate the engagement that you have. And again, a lot of that is the planning beforehand from the event. So I truly appreciate that. We also have, so the networking business hop, and if somebody on my team can actually put that link in there, it's nbh.eventbrite.com. We have the networking business hop that we do. And that is for any businesses, no matter your gender, no matter your ethnicity, any business, not NAH, but NBH. But it's for any ethnicity, any gender, anybody, any type of business can actually come to that event and network with us. We do that the first and the third Tuesday of each month. We then have the Network Urban. We have Urban Atlanta, which is for our supporting the Black businesses, but Urban Atlanta is Atlanta-based. Because we're virtual, we now do Network Urban. So with that, we have Network Urban. If somebody can put that in the chat for people, if you're interested in that, that happens the first and third Thursday of the month. Candy is kind of helping us with that event. And then we have our women's event that happens the second and fourth Wednesday of the month. And that is by our very own, hosted by our very own Caden Jacobs. Now, for the men, I'm sorry that you can't go to Steve. I'm sorry that you can't go to this event. Doug, I'm sorry. I can't even go to the event, okay? I can't. But let me tell you this, for those of you that have been on that event, you know that is our, and I'm seeing some head shakes, that is the front runner of ProNetworker right now. I don't know what it is about Bon. I should have listened to Bonnie
Power.
Years.
It's all about Cadence.
I should have listened to Bonnie all these years because awesome. Bonnie tapped into something with Experience Connection and having this organization for women. But our women's networking event, we started it in December of last year. And I think the first one, we had about 200 RSVPs. I think we had about 80 some women that came on, 76. It was 76. We then had one in January. The first one we had in January, we had 1,055 RSVPs. We went from 204 RSVPs to 1,055 RSVPs. We then said, well, look, let's get the larger Zoom and see how many people came on. We had 376 women that joined that event. How about that? Women taking over. So right now that event averages between about 80 to 100 happening every second and fourth Wednesday. So again, for the women in the group, definitely check that out. That's been a great event. And then currently we have one concept that we are doing in person right now, which we just had it a couple weeks ago, which is called Taste Urban. And really what Taste Urban is, it's an event for everybody. It's open to everybody, but it is a food event supporting Black-owned restaurants, caterers, and bakers. obviously during the pandemic, the restaurants and all that, the food industry got hit pretty hard. So we actually created an event centered around them just to really help them out. You guys will be getting some more information about our next one, because our next one is going to be actually even bigger. We had free food from caterers and bakers and spirit companies, so liquor companies that were giving out free drinks for that event. So again, we're going to be doing that event again in October. I'll go ahead and give you guys a spoiler alert. It is going to be October 13th. But you guys get that information later, and it's going to be a lot bigger and all. I'm super excited about that. But those are the things that we are doing right now. Does anybody want to chime in? And I mean, and our team could do if they want. I'm going to introduce our team in a minute. But does anybody want to chime into any event that you've been to, and kind of what your favorite event that you've been to was?
Corey, I'm gonna have to chime in, man.
Go ahead.
It's definitely the food events.
Yeah. You know what, Doug? When I think back and kind of what Mark was talking about, some of the places where we've had some of our events, we've had events at the Atlanta Fish Market here in Atlanta, Fogo de Chao. Fogo de Chao was a really good one. That food was amazing there. We've had several there. There was another Brazilian steakhouse called Cama Gaucha, which that food was amazing. And then when we started doing like the taste events, and even with Circle of Firms, oh, and did I show? Yeah, I did show a picture of Circle of Firms. Circle of Firms is kind of our premium event from Strictly Business. Some of the restaurants that we would actually have at the event, that when we went to Atlanta Tech Village and would bring in restaurants, that was great. Yeah, the food has been good. Food has been good.
Hi, Corey. This is your mother.
Hi, Mother.
Hey, and I'd like to tell you about my favorite.
Which one?
And I don't remember the name of it or anything, but it was at an art gallery. And yes, it did rain. It rained plenty, but it was wall-to-wall people. I couldn't believe the turnout on that with all of that rain. But I thought it was an absolute wonderful event, and I loved it.
That was a good event. Like I said, we've had it at art galleries. We've had events at MARTA, at their headquarters. We like to try to find fun and unique places around Atlanta to have events. So, anybody else?
I got an event.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is more of a request than anything, as someone who's not in Atlanta.
Okay.
Have you thought about expanding? We'd love to see you start running live events up here in Philadelphia. We
have thought about that. And actually, it's funny that you say that, Sandy. And I'm going to go ahead and say it like this. When COVID hit, there was a lot of negative that happened. And especially depending on the person's business, for us, it was what's called a direct hit. Like, we were directly affected. I mean, anytime that the governor says, no events over 10 people, which our events are over 10 people, we can't do, then it was a direct hit for us. But what I learned out of there, and I heard somebody say it, is the law of polarity. The law of polarity, which states that there are two sides to everything. And it's a law, just like the law of gravity. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, there's definitely, and the pandemic was so large, it had so much negative, it was hard to see the other side of it. But the law of polarity states there's two sides to everything. So what we did was try to look back to try to figure out, okay, what can be the positives? Sandy, one of the positives where we were able to actually now do these virtual events. And even with, people starting to do in-person events, we are going to keep the virtual events going on probably forever now, because we have been able to, I don't know if she's on today, but Lorna is one of our longstanding networkers. Lorna moved to Costa Rica. And I hadn't seen Lorna since she's been in Atlanta, but now we're doing the virtuals. We now see Lorna all the time, which is great. We have people from all over that attend our events now, which we would not have been able to do had it not been for COVID. And here's the thing, there was obviously people who were doing virtual events before COVID, but virtual events had not reached that, what all of us in business know, that critical mass, where you get a large number of people that are doing that thing. All of us in our business are waiting for critical mass. Well, virtual events got critical mass because they were forced to. So now what that opened up for us was they actually be able to do that. And Sandy, what it also did was, before COVID, we were coming up with a program on how we could actually expand what we do to other cities. And I literally had like a 5-year plan on how we were going to do this because it was all offline. Because of COVID, we now actually have the ability to do some actually offline events in other cities a little bit sooner than that, but we have to put some other resources in place. So I say to all of you, which I'm glad you guys are on, because you guys are going to get privy to some information. Some of you guys that are on, you know what I'm talking about because you've been part of some testing that we have done. Nobody say anything. Doug, don't say anything. Steve, don't say anything. But in the next 60 days, we are going to be announcing something that's now going to be one of the beginning steps of us going to other cities and not only being there virtually, but also having some offline presence in those cities. So Sandy, Gina, we're coming to Philadelphia, okay? So we are super, super excited. So again, in the next 60 days or so, actually within the next 90, like there's a lot of things that are gonna be happening in the next 30, and the next 60, and the next 90 days that we are super, super excited about. So definitely. Where are we at right now? What I wanna do real quick is to introduce you guys to some of the people that is helping ProNetworker do some of the things that we are doing. So I wanted to kind of give them some shine because the stuff that I am doing, I could not do without my team. I could not do without my team and also with my network. So I really wanted to take some time to really introduce them. The first person I see is Caden. Caden has been the one, if you have gone to our websites, whether, and if you go to ProNetworker.com now, if you guys haven't been there in a while, it has changed. So that is new. If you go to the women's site, if you go to any of our sites, and Caden, if you can put that, actually, I'll let you talk and I'll put that in the chat. If you go to our site, boom, well, Caden is on it. Caden is the one that's been doing our websites. Yes, if for whatever reason you go to our website and you start to see your computer melting because of the hotness of our website, I apologize, okay? But Caden, please introduce yourself and what it is you do.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. So my name is Caden Webgirl Jacobs. I am the web designer, web developer for the team, as well as the women's virtual networking event host. I love that event and I love all the ladies, and I'm glad that Corey can't come anymore. Yay! We have fun. It's just us. We got to kick it, you know. But yeah, no, I'm super glad, and I'm gonna just throw this in there because I was gonna say something when he asked. One of the events that made a big difference for me was 2018 Christmas event. That was my first time. Well, I got my first client here in Atlanta. I had just moved to Atlanta in October and I landed a client in December. So that made a big difference. And then just in general, he's a pusher. So, I mean, most of you probably already know. So he's pushed me to network a whole lot, which has made a big difference in my world personally and professionally. But yeah, my name is Caden Webgirl Jacobs and I do all the websites. So if you need help, holla at me.
Awesome. And I truly appreciate Caden, especially with the website, but definitely with the women's event. Again, I did not know that concept was going to be as big as it is. And she is phenomenal with it. So truly, truly appreciate that. For those of you that are not happy with your website, please make sure that you reach out to Caden. Caden, make sure you put your information in the chat for people, please. The next person who makes our stuff look really good, especially this flyer in my background. Y'all see my flyer? You see the flyers that I was doing, right? You saw what I did. And then you see the ones that she does. So Miss Nina, I call her Nina Simone. Her name is Nina Alexa. I like calling her Nina Simone. But Miss Nina handles all of our graphics. Please introduce yourself, Miss Nina.
Hi guys, Nina Alexis here. I handle all the branding and the graphic design for ProNetworker and all of subsidiaries we have.
I know what a color palette is now.
We know.
If you don't know what a color palette is, you need a Nina in your life. Because apparently color palettes matter.
They do. They do. Yes, of course, I'm all about consistency, about creating a look and feel for your brand that is custom and directed for your target audience. The goal is to stand out in your industry. You have to be bold, you have to be brilliant, and I help you do that. So if you, of course, need any assistance with logos, presentation decks, banners, flyers, and of course, I assist with website development. I handle the front end development of that. Work with Kaden. Kaden's my girl. Then yeah, holla at me. Thanks.
Truly appreciate it. And one of the things that actually, here's a funny story. Those of you that know Joel Peskin with Joel's List, Joel and I have been doing the same things, for a long time. And I would always talk to him and be like, Joel, you need to get a flyer for your event. You need to get this for your event or whatever the case is. But the flyers for your business are crucial for your business, especially now that everything is online. You have to have some visuals. People are into aesthetics. People like to see things that they actually enjoy looking at. So with that, if your graphics are not looking good for your business, you definitely want to make sure that you are getting a graphic designer for that. Now, you might be good at graphic design. I am not, okay? Hi, my name is Corey. I am not good at graphic design. So with that, that's where I get somebody else to actually do that. Your logos, if you do not like your logo, and again, I'm not gonna preach today, y'all. I'm not gonna preach. But if you do not like your logo, if your logo is fuzzy, if somebody asks you, a question about it and you have to give them a story before you give them to them, make sure you get yourself right. Talk with Nina, she'll get you right. So Nina, make sure you put your information in the chat there. Our social media, those of you that are following us on all of our brands and our social media, thank you. I wish that I could take credit for it, but I cannot. For those of you that know me, know that social media is not my thing. I am amazing offline. Online, I'm challenged, very challenged. But I got a social butterfly in my pocket. So with that, Miss Candy Martin, please introduce yourself and let people know what you do with us.
Hi, everyone. I am Candy, the butterfly Martin. And I am not flying away. I am right here with you guys. I help with all social media, and it's, me and the rest of the crew. We get everything together for ProNetworker. I love this networking team that we have. And if you guys need any help, I'm your girl.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Candy. Again, social media, and most times in networking, people are like, oh, I don't network. I just, I have my social media, or I network through social media. Here's the thing. Networking like this or in-person networking, social media is not a replacement for it. You do it in conjunction with. It's a combination. It's not, well, I'll do one or the other. So with that, for those of you that are good at networking, where most of you that are on here, that's great. But you also want to make sure that you have that social aspect. There's two things in social media. One is content, but the other is consistency. And sometimes you can not have content, but be consistent. And that's something that Candy has taught me, of saying, look, sometimes you can go for consistency, which is important, and then content then comes. So I say that to say is that for those of you that are having a challenge with that, Candy, make sure you put your information in the chat. If you guys And you guys know me, I love being a resource for everybody and growing your business. So again, with that, if you have any challenges with that, make sure you reach out to Miss Candy. So, and I think on our team, the last that I see that's on right now is our newbie to the team. We saw her out, actually she was here in Atlanta and then moved to Orlando and then started networking with us virtually. And then was like, look, I need to get out here and network a little bit more. I like what you guys are doing. How can I help? And I said, like I do, well, great, come on in because we got some things for you. So Miss Tanisha, why don't you unmute yourself and introduce yourself to the party people today.
Hi, everybody. I am Tanisha Coffey with Legacy Digital Clicks, and you might also find me noted in certain places as the Lofty Entrepreneur. And what I do with ProNetworker is I focus on helping them with their copywriting and with their video marketing right now. One of my specialties is organic digital marketing strategies. So we're tapping into a lot of my different skill sets to help with that. So I am excited to be part of the team. You guys are phenomenal. So
awesome.
Appreciate you.
Truly appreciate you being here. A couple of people I wanted to introduce, and you heard from them before, but Ken is helping us out with the networking business hop. I love that Ken is not only a part of that event, but also is going to be helping me with our database management. Ken, please introduce what it is that you do, because I think what you do is super imperative to what it is that we do. So please let people know what it is that you do.
Hey, Corey. My company is the Social Glue, and we provide social media and email marketing for our clients. I really focus on email marketing a good bit now. So I help clients, the old adage of it's easier and more cost-effective to keep a client than to go out and keep looking for new clients over and over again is so crucial. And one of the best ways to keep clients is to stay in communication with you. Clients, you may not have the type of business where your client uses your services every single day or even every month or even every quarter. Sometimes they just either need things from you, once a year, once every other year, whatever it might be. You need to stay in touch with them so they don't forget about you. And I'll give you a very quick example. I was heading down to a networking event to talk, or actually I was speaking at a networking event, and the lady came up to me after the event, and she came up and said, what you said is so true about people, having to stay in touch with them. She said, I sent out an email today, a newsletter today, and my phone rang as I was getting in the car to come down here to this event, and the person almost went to my competitor. She was a franchise where there were several competitors in the franchise, not competitors, but franchises with the exact same name. And this individual lived right in the middle between hers and the other person's, and he couldn't remember which one she owned. And he was about to drive to the wrong store and order some signs from that store for his business. And he said, your email popped in my box, and I immediately looked at the address on it and knew that I was about to head to the wrong store. And so staying in front of people, even people that have known you for 10 years or longer, people get busy nowadays. And all of a sudden they go like, oh, I need this. And if you're not top of mind, you're going to miss out.
If you are not, and this is why I'm so happy to have Ken a part of what we're doing. We're big about networking. But the one thing that we always say at our events is you are not going to make money from this event if you don't follow up. And that follow up, and it's not just, oh, I called the person, they didn't call me back, or I emailed the person, they didn't email me back. You got to have 7 to 14 plus touches in order for someone to trust you enough to either do business with you or refer business to you. And the only way to do that is through a system. Ken helps people with that system. So pretty much we are like one half of it, which is we're focused on networking. He's the other half of it, which is the follow-up piece, which is super huge. There are so many stories of how and what Ken said. And here's the main thing. What that newsletter is, or what that email is a reminder, reminding people what it is you do. You need to have a reminder going out at least once a month. I don't know, I can't stress this enough. You need to have a reminder going out at least once a month. And it could be just as small as, hey, I'm here, just let you know. Next month, hey, I'm here, just letting you know. Next month, hey, I'm here, just letting you know. Like, that's literally how easy it is. Most times people are overthinking this stuff. Well, I don't have time. No, you do. Just get that done. And real quick, I had, and Ken told a story just like this, but I had a client who, for my tax business, emailed me, replied to one of the emails I sent and said, hey, are you still doing taxes? I said, yes. She called me and we talked. She said, I have been on your email list for 5 years. And I was like, 5 years. Now, keep in mind, the average person sends out an email once a month, which is 12 in a year. I send out at least once a week, which is 52 in a year. Multiply that by 5. This is how many times she was getting this. She then said, I've been on your email for the last 5 years. And hey, now I'm ready to get my taxes done. I said, great. She said, and I have 5 years of taxes that I need to do, and I have a business. This one person paid for my entire system for all 5 years. And what she specifically said to me was, I have been on your list for 5 years, which let me know in 5 years, how many H&R Block commercials did she see? How many Jackson Hewitt commercials did she see? How many cousins did she have? Oh, I can do your taxes. How many coworkers did she? I can do your taxes. But what all of them didn't have was a direct reminder to her. And I had a weekly email going to her and it didn't even talk about taxes. It talked about events, but she got it from Corey Tax Guy Moore. I had literally ingrained my name in her head. So when she thought about taxes, she thought about me. And that's what you need to do in your business. If any of you guys, other than there's one person on this line that doesn't have to do this, and that's Santa Claus, because there's only one. There's only one. But if you are in your business and there's another person who does what you do, which is now a competitor, you need to do this for your business. And if you are not doing it, I want to be very clear with my words. You are losing money. Okay? The other person I want to introduce is Mark Wise. Mark.
Hey, Corey.
I absolutely love your service. I sought Mark out to bring him a part of this, to bring him a part of Networking Business Hop. He's a great guy, but his service is really, really good. Mark, tell everybody what you do.
So there are two primary strategies that are being used today for marketing. There's both online and offline. So what Ken does is that's part of the online world. I'm offline, and what we do is provide that tangible touch. So businesses are using the internet to advertise, and that's the online. And what they're doing is that their strategy is to bring the people into the store to buy, but they don't address what happens after the sale. And that's the part where it becomes repeat business. That's what we do. We provide the tools that enable business owners to stay top of mind in a tangible way to do that. I'm saying top of mind, to be there. And what that happens is that it creates referrals and repeat sales.
Awesome.
You can't get more, you can make it more complex, but that's the bottom line. And the reason that that's so important is because we all each have some very valuable real estate in our heads. And that's what we call it's top of mind. And businesses, individuals, they want to have that spot. And if you couple that with the idea that, the expression people do business with people they know, like, trust, it's not enough anymore. Because we all know so many people who do the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important for everybody to reach back to their clients, to develop and nurture that relationship so that they become top of mind. Because if they don't, in 2 months, somebody will say, well, who do you use for XYZ? And they'll think of that, well, the last person that spoke to them.
Yeah.
They don't have a relationship with them, but that's the last person. And that person now has top of mind.
That is true.
And all the work that we've done and all the money that we paid is for naught once we lose that spot.
And that's why, again, Mark, thank you for that. What Mark, one of the reasons why I really liked Mark was when you guys think about in your business, or let's say in your personal lives, everybody talks about, and Ken talked a little bit about, and Ken, please put your contact information in the chat. People are asking about that. And Mark, please put your contact information in chat. Ken talked about it. When all of us are in our business and we're looking for more money in our business, what we typically do is look for a new client. Well, did you know that it's actually cheaper to get an existing client to get you more money than it is to get a new client? We should all know that. So now what that gets into is one follow-up, which is what Ken talked about, but the other piece is retention, client retention, having a client retention strategy. So when you start thinking about that, it's like, what things can I do for client retention? Some people on client retention, they actually send emails. Some people actually send physical letters in the mail. Think about when you've gotten the last time you got a physical card in the mail from somebody. What did you feel? What was your thought? Especially if you got it from a business that you're one of their clients. What Mark does is has a company which is called Send Out Cards that actually sends a physical card to these individuals, to your clients, which is huge. It's like an online hallmark. And why it's so important in my tax business, at the height of our tax business, we were sending out 250 greeting cards for the holiday, letting people know, hey, it's the holidays, but we're about to get into the tax season. I would have a card party at my house. No, we wouldn't play hearts and stuff like that. Literally, I would tell them it's a card party, but when they got there, it was actually a greeting card party. They didn't know that. So what would happen is, hey, a couple of you are going to be on writing the information in there. You're going to be stuffing the card in the envelope. You're going to be licking the thing. You're going to be putting the stamp on it. And it took 4 hours to 250. Mark has a business that it only takes 15 minutes, if that, to do the same reach out process, which is huge, huge. So for those of you, and I know Bonnie does a lot of this, when you are sending out physical cards, it makes a difference. It makes a big difference. And it's a huge, huge client retention strategy. So again, these are some of the people that we have a part of this, and this is why. My whole goal, which I have been doing for all of these 11 years, is wanting to make sure that anybody who spends time with me, what you guys are doing right now, that you grow your business. I've had one focus, that you grow your business. That's what I want. And the reason why I want you to grow your business is, I don't know about you guys, I don't know about your business, but for those of you that know me, the event business, I love the event business. Absolutely love what I do. Now, for those of you that really know me, you know I don't like doing taxes, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, we all family now, right? We're all family. It doesn't leave this room. I do not like doing taxes. I'm very good at doing taxes, and I'm very thankful for the tax business, but I do not like doing taxes. But I love doing the events company. And if you guys are anything like me in your business, you want to be able to do your business full time. Well, in order to do your business full time, and I'm not talking full time to where you're just making ends meet, full time to where you can take a vacation when you want, you can fund your retirement, you can actually have the opportunity to do the things you do. So you found your passion. But the only way to do that is your business has to grow. And again, none of us have the silver bullet as far as how the business is growing, but at the same time, we all have different things that can add to your business growing. And what I wanted to do is to make sure that I have always been a resource for the people in my database for your business to grow. And I am very, very, very happy to feel that. I think that you guys have gotten that from me over these 11 years. I love meeting people. I would go to an event and somebody would come up to me and be like, hey, we met already. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. And I might not have remembered. And they said, yeah, you got on me about my business card. Yep, that's me. Yeah, we did meet. We definitely did meet. And then they would say, but look, I was ready for you. I now got a better card. Great. That means it's more money in your pocket. What I try to do is the same thing that Bonnie did with me. I want to love on you and love you hard because business is hard. Business is hard. Business doesn't care. And one thing that I watched Bonnie do, and I remember there was a time, and I don't know if I told you this, Bonnie, but when we first kind of met, there were some things you said to me. I was like, wait a minute, now she doesn't even know me. But then when I really thought about what she was saying, I was like, you know what? If she did not care for me, she wouldn't have been honest with me. And she was. And I took that information, I applied that information, and I'm happy to be able to say that 11 years later, 15 plus thousand people in our email, that 11,000 people in our LinkedIn. I mean, these are all these brands later that we are still here. We are still impacting other people's businesses. We are still enjoying what we do. And people, I am here to tell you guys, in the next 90 days, we haven't even begun to touch the surface of what we have the ability to do. We're about to show you guys in the next 90 days what's about. I'm super excited for this. So again, I really appreciate everybody being on today. I told myself that I was not going to go too long. I think I told my team, I was like, hey, it's our anniversary event. So if I get on my soapbox, I get on it. It's my event. I can do that. What I do want to do is this. I want to introduce a couple people who are on, okay? We're not going to get a chance to do the actual networking piece, but I do want to make sure that you guys leave with some specific people to meet. Now, I'm going to ask a couple people to speak, 30 seconds. You guys take 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to ask JR first. And JR, give me 30 seconds. I know you want more. Give me 30 seconds, but I want to make sure I introduce you guys to some people that you need to know who they are and what they do. So JR is a superstar in the events. When I think about who I want to aspire to, JR just had an event in LA. I know it was in California. Had 1,000 some people RSVPs for that event. I mean, the numbers he does is ridiculous. But I want to make sure that you guys that took your time today, that you are getting some. I want you to meet the people in my network. I want to make your business easier so that you know who I know. Because like we said, it is not about what you know. It's actually not about who you know, but it's about who knows you. It's about who knows you. I know who he is, but that helps me none. But if Jay-Z knew who I was, then that would be a different story. One day. JR, 30 seconds.
All right, hey, cool, man. Listen, I want to say congratulations for Corey. He's amazing, and he's a good friend, and you know, we've been supporting each other for a long time, and I think that's great in anything that you do. Have people that got your back, and you got theirs, you know. But what I do is I help people start and grow companies. Our company, the Velocity Company, we celebrated 19 years. Actually, 3 weeks ago, Corey actually brought the cakes for us. Those cakes were phenomenal. Everybody was talking about how good the cakes was, man. Hey, man, it was good, bro. So, but listen, we have a huge goal of looking to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in revenue by the end of 2025. I'm actually outside of my office right now, just kind of scarfed down some lunch before I head into some consultations. But we have a big event called Small Business Day. We just did one out in Los Angeles on the West Coast. And yeah, so if you want to reach me or get in touch with me, my email is really simple, info@jrmcnair. If you believe you are a company or an entrepreneur that could potentially reach $1 million in revenue by over the next 3 or 4 years, then we want to help you. We've been doing this. We've helped over 22,000 businesses, and you know, we're here. So, hey, God bless you, Corey, man. I'm looking for, you know, forget about 11 more. I want 22 more, man. Yeah. Keep doing it, bro.
Yeah. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for that. Real quick, Steve Gard. You have been a supporter of us. You have an event as well. We've been supporting each other. 30 seconds. I want you to introduce yourself.
Hey, Sensei, thank you for calling me out here. This is Grasshopper. Yeah,
Yes,
you're the man, you're the network king, you do it all. So I thank you for all your help and support, that's for sure.
Definitely.
We're working here in Atlanta. Networkinaction.com is the website. We have also a local website, AtlantaNIA.com. And we're working to bring business owners together. Under Corey's direction and help and thoughtfulness, we've brought a lot of people and helped people be successful. So we meet in Buckhead once a month. We also have a group for military veteran business owners. So if you know of anyone who's a military veteran and wants to get together as a business owner with a bunch of others, we'd love to have them. Thanks, Corey.
Awesome, Steve. I truly appreciate you. Love the consistency, Steve. Keep doing what you're doing. And again, love the ability to be able to network.
You too, buddy.
Where's Belinda? Miss Belinda. And I know, and these people didn't know I was calling on them, so hopefully you're there. 30 seconds, Belinda. Let them know what you do.
Hi there, everyone, and thank you, Corey, and congratulations. And it has been my honor and pleasure to participate in your foodie events, your taste events, and all of that. Acoma Events is a full-service special event company. We provide catering, balloon decor, not the balloons on the string from the Dollar Tree, the real deal, the arches, the columns, the big stuff to make a statement. We also provide corporate lunches. If you're having a lunch and learn or something that you need a meeting and you need box lunches, we do it all. My website is right there next to my name. Please don't hesitate. Check me out. We can do anything for you to make that next event spectacular.
Awesome.
Thank you,
I love
Corey.
that.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sweetheart. And I wanted to shout you out because not many caterers at all network, and you do. And one thing that you told me, which I was very happy that you did, is that you send those newsletters out and you have gotten business from it. People were like, oh yeah, you weren't top of mind, but now you are. Thank you for continuously to doing what you're doing. And also thank you for that chocolate mousse you make, man. Amazing. Listen, if you guys are in Atlanta, you make sure you go to an event where she's at. All right. So love you, Linda. Miss Gina, my new BFF, please unmute yourself and tell the people what it is you do.
Oh my goodness. Thanks, Corey, for having me. It's great. I'm an accelerator coach, right? We teach people a simple solution to sales that leaves that self-sabotage and fears of selling behind so that they can double their revenue, making it easy, fun, and lucrative to be in business.
That is awesome. Gina is one of our supporters and sponsors of our women's event. Gina actually trains business owners using horses. How about that? Who in your database trains people using horses? I would probably say none, but you now have one. So Gina, we truly appreciate you being a part. Please make sure that that you put your information in the chat for us. Where's Doug? Doug, 30 seconds.
Hey guys, Doug Thibodeau here. I want to just say one thing real quick. Don't forget to save the chat and click on the hamburger button in the chat and click save so you'll have everybody's information. So that's just wanted to put that out there for you, Corey.
No, and what happened is you guys can email me. If you can't save the chat, email me and I will send you the chat. Okay, I will send you the chat. So Doug, please let them know what you do.
Oh, hey guys, Doug Thibodeau. My wife and I are in a whole health business. Anyway, we market a DNA drop, which is basically like a candy lifesaver that's infused with botanical herbs. Helps with all kind of health issues. And that's kind of what we do. We're here, I would say in Atlanta, Corey, but we actually moved to Young Harris, which is near Murphy, North Carolina. So
really? Did not know that.
Yeah, I just moved up here about 2 months ago. So it's
okay, we need to come back October 13th because we're having an event here. So I need to see you there. Wonderful. Doug is a phenomenal networker. I always been supporting us. Truly appreciate it. I did, for those of you that have been to our events, we're missing somebody today. I don't know if you know, Howard isn't here, but Howard is coming back from a cruise that he was on to Alaska. I was like, poor you, Howard. Okay. So with that, that's where Howard is. Joe Kim, I saw Joe Kim is on. If Joe Kim is still on, please unmute yourself. And I see Rich Casanova. Joe Kim, unmute yourself, and Rich Casanova, get ready to unmute yourself, because I know you're probably talking to somebody else already, but get ready to unmute yourself. Joe Kim, give us 30 seconds.
Geez, Corey, thank you so much for this, and I'm glad that we're celebrating it all together. I've been supporting his events for several years, just as an outside free agent of sorts. But what I do, I actually show people how to either improve or improve much better their lifestyle, even if they go through any treacherous or tragic situations, whether they lost their job or their business or their relationships. We curate programs, and gosh, we do quite a bit. So just got back from a conference and just got back from a flight actually just a few minutes ago. So
awesome.
good to
Joe, super excited for you being here. One of the smartest guys that I know. Joe, if I had known that that's really what you did for all these years, some of these events where I really lost some money on, I would have been calling you. But super appreciative of you being here now. Is Rich Casanova. If he is on, I see him there, but Rich Casanova, actually, we've been networking with each other for years. He also had a directory for different networking events that were happening while he also had an event for wine, and I forgot what it was called, but it was a great name, but wine and networking, but really great guy. If you do not know who he is, he's now in the world of podcasts. So if you're interested in getting into podcasts, you definitely want to talk with Rich Casanova. He is awesome when it comes to that. And I know, again, I'm not going to get everybody, but I just really wanted to point out couple people. One other person, then my wife, Bonita, if you're there, I know you're on mute right now. I would love for you to introduce yourself if you're available. Bonita has been one of our supporters for a very long time as well. Really, really appreciate seeing her, and especially all the things that she's been doing really for her family, and still been able to come out and network. Been amazing. So that's fine. Bonnie Ross Parker, I love you dearly. I am so appreciative of you. You know, sometimes I start getting a little emotional. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. There's a lot of pollen in my room right now, a lot of pollen going on right here. But Bonnie, like, I've talked to you about what you have done with Experience Connection, and before then, the joy of connecting, like the number of people you impacted with that networking group. For me, even though we have something that is, they're different, but they're still networking, affecting people through networking. You are my inspiration for what it is that I do. You are the person who I look at as far as somebody who is doing something that I'm doing or has done it. Like, you have literally paved the way for a person like me. I'm in one of those events. I'm kind of like, in a way, kind of like Santa Claus, where there's not a lot of people who do what we do. But to be able to look at what you have achieved, and for me to know that, wow, there's already been someone who has done it. I just need to keep going. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I don't have to make a new path. Like, I literally can follow in the footsteps of this person who has already done it. I want you, and I know you know this, but it needs to be said. The things that you have done continuously have a lasting impression on people. There are people right now doing things in their business because you touched them. And I am one of those people. Everything that I do and every person I touch, whoo, this pollen is getting crazy, but everyone that I do and every person I touch is because of you pouring into me and showing me the abilities of how we can be a blessing to others. Because let me tell you guys, when it comes to events, people that want to make money don't get into business events, okay? They don't. They get into social events, concerts, stuff like. People would rather be entertained versus educated every day of the week. They rather be entertained than educated. So anytime that you're in the education side, you're not in it for the money. You're not in it. Yeah, the money is great when you can pay your bills with it and all that, but you're not in it for that. So for a person that does networking events and business events, especially education, it is super selfless, extremely selfless. It is something, and one of the things that I have seen Bonnie do is walk around every time when she gets up in the morning, kisses Phil and puts her boots on. And those of you that know Bonnie, she has boots on all the time. When she puts her boots on, that is her superpower to now affect people. And she does that consistently. And it's so funny because it's not a job for her. It is part of her DNA. And I am the same way. So again, Bonnie, I want to say thank you to you for being there for me, even when you didn't know that you were being there for me. Okay. I truly, truly appreciate, again, your tutelage, your care, your love, and your support over all of these years. And I made it known that even when you left and moved down to Florida, one, I'm coming down there. I am. I know, I'm coming. But two, you will always be my networking wife. I know Carol not on. Carol thought, well, now that we're running, nope. So again, I want to say thank you to you.
Well, Corey, it's such a joy to love you and to appreciate you and to just be hearing all the wonderful things that are being said about you. Those of us that truly understand making a difference in other people's lives get it. We just do. And whether it's DNA or whether it's just the way we just, I don't know, live our lives, I'm just not sure how one would express it, but you're right. I mean, we get up and we go out and it's who we're going to meet and who we're going to introduce people we know to people they need to meet. And my tagline has always been, you know, make every connection count. So to the team that's with you today, Corey makes a difference. Everybody that's been on this call and this celebration with you make a difference. And I just know in my heart that when you go out to make a difference, people will make a difference for you. So I'm very grateful. I'm also going to speak to you offline because I think, Corey, we need to do a road show. And if I can get Phil to trust me, I think we need to do a road show. We need to go on the road and really impact people in cities that don't know us. You know, you're still the best kept secret. We're still the best kept secret. We need to be discovered. So you put that in your thinking cap.
You know what?
And I'll be there.
You guys have heard it first here. I love that idea, and that is going to happen.
Well,
that is totally going to happen.
And we're just grateful to you, Corey, that you keep on going. And we're 19 years, you're 11. You'll never catch up, but we'll always celebrate. And listen, tell Mom I was asking for, okay?
Mom is on.
Oh, she's still on. Okay, Mom.
Yeah, Mom is on. Mom is on. Yeah.
I know you're cheering, you know, you're cheering your son every step of the way, and so am I. So love to everybody. Be well, stay well, and look forward to seeing those of you in Atlanta when I return next August. So,
awesome.
Blessings.
Real good. Well, listen, I didn't want to take up, I know we just ran a little bit late. Again, I truly appreciate each one of you. There is one person that I do want to say thank you for before we go. Miss Sherry Wheat.
Oh,
Miss Sherry Wheat. Sherry is one, gonna be helping us with some marketing that we're doing for our business. But two, Sherry, I want to say thank you for the commitments that you have made with the mastermind group that we do. I know we haven't had a chance, and actually tomorrow I will be announcing this, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you a heads up. I'm really hoping that you become one of the leaders with me with that. But I really, really appreciate your support and how you think about things as it relates to other people, as it relates to just our group and business in general. So I really wanted to make sure, because I think that one, I mean, you're a great person either way, but I really would like you to introduce your business, because I do believe that the average person probably doesn't have somebody in their database that does what you do. So if you could please take 30 seconds, introduce what it is that your company does, that would be great. And make sure you put that information in the chat as well, okay?
I will. Thank you so much, Corey. I mean, I'm so thrilled to get to know you at the level I'm getting to know you, and I just feel you coming out more and more and more in terms of who you are and who you want to be. And I love supporting that. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. I've had a business for 22 years. We're an inside sales team. We're on the phones for small businesses that would never go to a call center, but they need a salesperson, a sales team on the phones, generating leads, talking to their prospects. In some instances, we're following up on inbound leads. We also do surveys. So we talk to people. We know the internet's important, but we talk to people. I think the main reason we've had this business for 22 years is because people are afraid to do what we do, and we love doing what we do. So I did put my information in the chat. I will also tell you, and Corey knows about this, I've started a second business, which is called Climate School Asheville. We're going to be teaching business leaders about climate, because there's opportunities within the climate challenge for business. And I'm living in Asheville, and there are all kinds of climate experts up here, climate scientists. So you'll hear more about that, but the idea is we're bringing climate scientists together with business leaders. So
Awesome.
keep your eye open for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Sherry, for that.
Thank you.
The last shout out that I would like to make, and she's not on right now, but I'm going to put this in the chat. I have, as those of you know, I have been supporting a nonprofit, which is I Will Survive, for really the past 3 years, 3 or 4 years. It has become, I first started working with I Will Survive just because we were having networking events, and I wanted to have a nonprofit at each of our events, because all of us as business owners, we're busy. We want to do good for our community, but we might not have the time, right? With that, I would call these nonprofits and say, hey, we would like for you to come to the event, just set up a table, no charge, and we give you awareness and collect money. Would you imagine that I would get some of them that would say, well, we don't know. Excuse me? I'm offering you free money and free. So I needed to find somebody who I knew wouldn't say no. And that was Anissa, because Anissa would actually come to the networking events, not just ours, I'd see her out networking. So that's how we started a relationship. It wasn't until Bonnie, and most people know Bonnie's journey, you know, with getting diagnosed with breast cancer, and is now breast cancer free and all of that. But it wasn't really until a dear, close friend of mine got diagnosed with stage 4 terminal metastatic breast cancer that it was like, wow, like I was already working with this organization, and now this has happened. Like it was just truly meant. So I just say that to you guys to say, I Will Survive, Inc. October is coming up. We are just giving you a heads up. We are going to be doing a virtual event with them. They help people economically when they've been diagnosed with breast cancer. Now their bills go up, medical bills, pills, stuff like that. They help them with those financial needs that they now have. American Cancer Society, Susan G. Komen are great organizations. They're helping with the research. But this organization is actually helping women and men today with their bills when it comes to this stuff. So what I am doing is asking people to actually go to their site and asking people to donate $10 for 10 months. If you go to their link, you click on the page, you click donate. I'm looking for people to do $10 and just reoccurring. This is part of their sustainability program, $10 for 10 months. That's it. If you're interested in working with the organization, please let me know, because I really want to build this whole community of business owners that are helping nonprofits. Doesn't have to be this one. Could be somebody else's, but business owners that are supporting these nonprofits, because again, we all work together. So other than that, listen, I love each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being on. Again, truly appreciate everybody being on today. Hope you guys learned something. I hope that you guys had a good time today. I again appreciate you taking the time to spend it with our birthday. And other than that, listen, everybody have a great day. Again, save the chat. If you don't save the chat, again, shoot me an email. I'll send you the chat. We will actually, this has been recorded, so we will put this on our channel. So with that, so you can go back and watch it and all that good stuff as well. All right. Awesome, y'all.
Hello, Corey. This
Yes,
is your
ma'am.
mother, and I
Hey,
just
mother.
wanted, hi there. I just wanted to say congratulations. So we are so happy that you're doing what you love. We wish you great success as you continue to go along. And again, you're doing a terrific job.
Thank you, Mother. I appreciate it. I truly appreciate it. And you know what? And I see one of my team members that joined, I think joined last, Shirley Xavier. Are you there? Unmute yourself if you are. Okay, I don't know if she is. Okay, with that, guys, everybody have a great day. We truly appreciate everybody being a part again. And we will see you soon. We got some big announcements coming. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Everybody have a great day.
Congrats,
Bye-bye.
Corey. See you later.
See ya.
Thank you, Corey.
Hey, guys.